Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great edition of the Garage Shop Insider. I'm your host, Tim Packman. We appreciate each and every one of you who's tuned in and watched us as we talk to the crew members. We're going to continue that today for this episode. Today, we're talking to Bobby Newling from St. Petersburg, Florida. He is a fabricator. Thanks, Bobby, for spending your time with us.
Thanks for having me.
No, my pleasure. What's your beginning in motorsports?
Back when I was a kid, my dad had a body shop, and he raced cars, and we built dune buggies and four-wheel drive vehicles and all kinds of stuff. And our local racetrack, Sunshine Speedway, I know it well. All our friends went out there, so that's how I got started in the street stock class, and just moved up to super late models. And
as a driver? Or
as a driver.
Oh, okay,
driver and
right.
builder. Worked a lot with Dave Pletcher.
Yeah, I know. Good name.
And basically, that's how I got into it, and raced New Smyrna, raced all over Florida, and finally got the call. Dave Pletcher got me a job working with Laughlin Chassis in Simpsonville, South Carolina, building cup chassis. So went up there and stayed for a year, and I liked it, and so I moved up here and went from there. Started my own business.
What year did you move up here?
I moved up in 1990.
And you've been here since.
Yep. I've been here longer than I've
Sunshine Speedway. You remember the school bus figure eight races?
Yep, sure do.
So my cousin Brian Hain was a 4 or 5 time champion doing that.
How about that?
It was nuts. It was insane to go there. When I lived in Treasure Island there, I mean, you talk about crazy, man.
Yeah.
School buses in a figure eight.
Yeah, they're popular everywhere down there.
Big.
Yeah.
We digress there. I'm sorry. So 1990, and then you worked there, and you started your own business. When did you start that?
Yeah, I moved up in 1990, went to work for Laughlin. I was there for about 2 years. Then I moved. They opened, Laughlin Chassis opened a satellite shop in Mooresville over by the drag strip, building just simply front snouts and rear clips and A-frames. So I moved up there and built 3 clips a day, working for Laughlin's, and I worked at Robert Hamke's. I met him and worked at Robert Hamke's at night building chassis over there. And shortly after that, I met Rich Bickle, and then we started building chassis at his shop, RBR Race Cars.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, and then I raced on the road a little bit with Rich, and when I could. And about that time, I met Gary Dehart at Hendrick Motorsports, and he was working on a Sunday afternoon on his Daytona car at Hendrick Motorsports in the R&D shop. The shop was wide open. The door was up. I pulled up one day on a Sunday and walked in and asked him for a job, and he said, "Be here Monday morning."
Seriously?
Seriously. Yep.
And that's how
I told him what I knew, what I did, and stuff, where I worked and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess he had happened to be needing some help, so went to work for Hendrick Motorsports R&D shop, and he put me right on the English wheel. And I probably rolled 15 fenders before I got the first one right.
That's when we rolled fenders.
We rolled fenders,
English wheels.
yeah. Yep. So finally got the hang of it and started building bodies.
Very good.
Yeah. So I stayed there for quite a few years, probably 5 years, and then I opened New Fab Race Car Bodies.
That was your business.
Yep.
Newling, New Fab. I get that.
Yep.
Let's go back. Rich Bickle. Any stories you want to tell about traveling with him? I'm kidding. Don't.
I'll just say we had the most fun ever.
I know. Sorry, Rich, couldn't resist. I'm a good friend of Rich, like you. Great guy. Always fun to be around.
He's the best.
Pure racer, and that's why he did so well up in Wisconsin and up Midwest. Just lighting those tracks on fire.
Yep.
And still the only 5-time winner of the Snowball Derby.
Snowball
right?
Derby. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Your time at Hendrick. What was some of your good memories from there?
I guess the first super speedway car that I got to work on was called Dusty, and that was Gary Dehart's personal car that he built or designed himself, and we all built it. But that thing was really, really fast. Just traveling on the road, I was actually the gas man for Ricky Rudd that year too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was a little bigger back then and more in shape, but I was the most agile out of all the guys that tried out.
Okay.
I could run and stop with the can really quick. So I did that for a year and got to see all the racetracks, and that was really cool. Yeah.
So, as a driver, that you drove so many years, was it tough to give it up and then become part of the crew like that?
Well, actually, I didn't give it up.
Okay.
All the while I was racing at Concord Motor Speedway, the Trioval Concord Motorsport Park, and I built my own car, and it was a Hamke chassis, and we did really well. I won a couple Big Ten races out there, 200 lappers.
Okay.
So I raced up until about probably 99, 2000, and went down and raced at Homestead, the all-pro race, finished second there to Freddie Query, and quartered the right rear tire, or else I'd have passed him, ran him down and passed him. But I had to start in the back, and it just, you had to go, you know.
Right.
So, but that was a lot of fun. So, but it got to be so expensive. Up at about 2001, I finally stopped. Just couldn't afford it anymore. It was just getting out of hand. Yeah.
So is it tough to give up the wheel?
Oh yeah.
The steering wheel for the English wheel, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell.
There's no better feeling. No better feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. A lot of fun.
But you were able to take what you learned and apply it to what you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I was so fortunate because I met Dave Pletcher early on, Buggy Pletcher's dad. And he's a famous short tracker from Florida, just like Dick Anderson and Gary Blue and the rest. But he taught me so much. Bruce Harp, that worked with Dave Scarborough's crew chief. Those two taught me probably more about chassis and setting up my own race car than anybody I've ever met. And then, you know, from there on, I met D. Hart at Hendrick, and he taught me, you know, all the fabrication tricks that he knew, and he was an excellent fabricator himself and a crew chief. You know, Robert Hamke, you know, Rich Bickle, you know, now I'm with Aaron Brown and having a blast.
So how did you end up with the garage shop?
The way NASCAR is going with the carbon bodies now, I didn't really enjoy that anymore. You couldn't really get creative like you used to be able to. And the trucks are still made out of mostly steel. And I do a few trucks here and there, but there's just not enough work to keep it, you know, exciting and busy. And about the time I met Aaron, he was needing help, so I came over here, and I really enjoy it because it's something new all the time, you know.
Well, how long you been here now?
Probably about 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with your background, so when you see, I asked the other guys the same question, when you see a new project car come in, what's it like knowing that, I get to put my hands on this and have a part in what's going to happen here?
Well, once I figure out what we're doing with everything, it's pretty neat because your wheels start spinning and you get to thinking about how you're going to do things and what you have for material and the time frame and everything. And part of my job here is keeping all the tools in order for the guys and material and making sure they have what they need. But yeah, it is pretty neat because I find myself going home at night and laying there in bed thinking about the job for about 3 hours.
And people say you're not supposed to do that, but
yeah.
In racing, it seems like it just never stops.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. I'm really excited about the streamliner we're building. I can't wait to get that thing done. That's going to be so much fun.
Well, and we're talking 400-500 miles an hour possibly.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
The cars that, you know, go out and set records, what's that like for you, knowing that, you know, these are marks that at Bonneville, at El Mirage, like legendary places that up until I started working, I just read about or saw on YouTube.
Yeah. It's kind of neat because when we show up, it's like we're like the DEI of Bonneville.
I remember those days.
When we show up, it's like everybody knows we're there to win. Right. So, you know, and that half of that's just attitude, you know. And so they're beat before they even know they're beat. So, and Aaron knows that. So, but yeah, I don't think there's a time we showed up with any of these cars that they haven't set records. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I was part of those glory years of DEI, and Jeff Clark loves to tell the story. Like, we'd show up and we started getting set up for teardown. People are like, what are you doing? He'd say, well, we're getting ready. We're going to win this thing. And they're like, at a plate race, plate races, and people are like, oh yeah, whatever. And then they'd win and they'd be like, look at, we got our ass beat by him again. But when you're setting up for teardown, you know, before the race,
it's pretty confident.
Kind of a ballsy move, but confident too. So you've been to El Mirage, you've been to Bonneville.
Yeah.
Like me, like you probably, a lot of people, you read about it, you see the videos, at Bonneville. What was it like when you finally went there and saw it? I've asked the other guys this, I want to get your take.
It's a lot of walking.
Yep, but when you saw it and then you stepped on the salt for the first time, you remember that?
Yeah, it was crazy. I'd never seen anything that big before in my life. And then all the cars start pouring in there, and it's like miles and miles of hot rods, and it's like you just want to go check them all out, you know. And some of the things you see is a little sketchy. Yep. Some you see is pretty trick stuff, you know. I got a lot of great ideas when I was out there just looking at different cars, but yeah, a lot of neat stuff, and just you can't see very well. It's like they take off and they're gone. I wish you could see better.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when the streamliner is going 400 something miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like I remember we'd go and be like, and then the streamliner goes, it's like, I'm like, good God
It's
Almighty.
like a plane across the sky, a jet.
But it's on the ground. I talked to Bob Newling. He said, he's been from Colorado. He said when he saw the salt first time, he was picturing snow and cold. I compared it to like stepping onto the moon because it was out of this world type thing.
Yeah.
It was a pretty emotional type thing. For you, all the racing you did at different types of tracks, to go there and be part of a historic place like that.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was just a lot of fun working on the car and getting and learning about. I don't know much about land speed racing, but it's altogether different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like a drag car where you need to take off fast. You just need to get up to speed and get the mile per hour. But it's just crazy how you would think the salt is like it looks like it's snow. It's like quicksand, but it's really hard and smooth. And you know, when they're going down through there, it's like they're kicking up 60, 70 feet rooster tails
Of salt.
Right. Yeah. And then the car comes back into the pits and it's covered just covered everywhere with salt. And you got to get to the car wash pretty quick, get that stuff off of there because it'll rust. It's like crazy.
And then you bring the cars back here, everything's oxidized, and you got to clean everything.
Completely take them apart and rebuild everything. Yeah.
So those records, it means a lot to you to be part of that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to get those records. A lot of work, and that's what makes the difference here at the garage shop. Everybody puts in a lot of hours to make sure that those records are broke every time we go. So it's really, we expect it to happen. You know, I know Aaron expects it, and so do we. So
you've been on the team side of the NASCAR and everything. What would you say the teamwork here assimilates to what you experience on the NASCAR level?
Yeah, it's about the same. We got a bunch of good guys here. Everybody gets along great, and everybody knows their part. You know, we don't have to have a lot of chiefs and Indians and people like telling us what to do. We all know what to do, and we do our thing. And as long as we get stuff done on time, it's great. Yeah.
So Australia, did you get to go out there? Were you part of that or not?
No, I don't think I want to travel 14 hours on a plane.
I was just going to ask you. So you missed out on the kangaroo. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, appreciate you sharing your insights and your past and everything like that.
Yes, sir.
So Bobby Newling from St. Petersburg, Florida, thanks for taking some time. And those of you watching at home or wherever you are, we appreciate you as always tuning in and hearing Bobby's story and the other guys. And we'll be back with another episode soon. In the meantime, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and tell everybody about it. Thank you.